Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Today, thank you so much everybody for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who's listening right now in the podcast. Today is Wednesday, November the 6th, 2024. It's the day after the elections. But I wanted to share something that I've noticed. And it's so in your face that how can you not speak about it, right? But before I continue, I want to say thank you so much to everybody who is listening in the podcast. Thank you for subscribing and listening using the Spotify app. And of course, thank you so much to everybody who uses Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and iHeartRadio, and every other platform that you may use. I was just mentioning the top ones for my audience. Also, I want to say thank you to everybody who is subscribing and watching this on YouTube. If you ever want to see the video edition of this episode, you can always go to YouTube, Julissadesigns, Glory to God, and you'll find it there. So, you guys, the elections are done, and I'm kind of happy that they are. It's just, I think a lot of the times when it comes to elections and like talking about it kind of divides people, it makes people angry. Everybody has their own opinion, everybody has their point of view. But I believe, as the Christ believing person that I am in the Christian community, what I've seen is that when it comes to picking out of the two options that we had, we always have to, like I said in my previous video this week, always pick the one whose principles matches more the Bible, right? And I think it was loud and clear how the Christian vote was heard, okay, because of the outcome of the election, okay. I also showed you guys yesterday the video. Well, I spoke about the video of the children in India praying for the elections, right? It was amazing to see something like that. But here's the thing though. The last night I was like, wait a second, there's something very obvious that is missing. It's missing, and it's creating this kind of like, wait a second, what is going on that nobody's talking about this, right? When this president-elect ran for campaign the first time he was president, and throughout the years, we noticed one thing about him is that he always had his children with him, his adult children, and specifically including Ivanka, right? Ivanka Trump has been obviously very present in everything that her dad does, right? It's so present, so spoken, and he's always like it's almost like there's an admiration that he has towards his daughter that is so obvious, right, to everybody. We can see it the way the camera will point at him when she's talking about him or campaigning for him, and just even throughout the whole Celebrity Apprentice and the Apprentice show, you could tell that there was a great relationship there with Ivanka and her dad, right? It was like, wow, she is like daddy's little girl type of thing. Even when Baron Trump, right, came out, I mean, he was born, and as he grew older, Ivanka, out of all of the kids, you could also say very, just looking at it from an outside point of view, as the public, you could always say Ivanka is his favorite. It's so obvious, right? There's no, like, it's not like we're making things up and thinking this or the other. It was very clear that Ivanka was the favorite. So everything that has been happening the past months with this campaigning and all of that, and seeing him basically win, and the whole outcome of it, and I'm like, wait a second, where is Ivanka? Where is Ivanka's husband? How come they're not speaking? Like, who silenced these people? What is going on? Did they have a fallout with the father? Or is there something that we're missing here? Right? That is, as happy as everybody is that we brought, to the presidency somebody who is not afraid to mention Jesus, who's not afraid to pray in public, who's not afraid to ask for prayer, who has a lot of principles and morals that I guess you can say matches the Bible and things like that. There's still something a little off when it comes to the Ivanka connection, because one thing we know is that when something's going on at home, your kids know, right? And have you ever been to like you get invited to go to somebody's house, right? And everything's great, and then you get there and you notice that you go there and you waited for this moment to be, you're gathering together with friends, and like they invited you to dinner, let's just say, and then when you get there you're like, what is going on in this house? There's something off, right? It's so obvious. I'm like, what's going on? And then you learn that they were probably arguing, yeah, just like minutes before you show up, right? And it's so obvious that you're like, what happened here? Or there's something that was said about you and you're visiting, and then it was probably an argument like, why are you saying this now? They're about to come now. You didn't tell me you didn't like them or whatever, right? It's almost like Ivanka's like this. Is just my opinion, but these are things that I've been noticing, and I'm like, is there something going on with Ivanka? That how did she was like daddy's favorite? I know she's an adult, obviously, and all of that, but like I said before, I always thought she was like the favorite, and now to see her so silenced, not only just her, Jared too, right? Her husband, they're like, they look like strangers. Like, what is going on? They're not strangers, right? If anything, they were like on top of everything when, in the first term that her father did. They were very prominent figures in everything that the father did in the first term. What happened now? Like, what is going on? Did she know some type of secret plan that, or did she overhear something that, somebody's lying to the public just to get votes, but she knows there's something else that is not being said, and she probably wants nothing to do with it and just showing her face because she is related, but she really don't want nothing to do with it. And you can think something like, oh, maybe she just had a fallout with her dad, or they have an argument or something. But like I said, it's not just her, it's her husband too. I mean, are you kidding me? Donald Trump spoke about Jared, like, and people were like, Jared is the Antichrist or something. That people would say that like years ago, right? Maybe 3 years ago, people were saying like, I don't like Jared, like there's something with him, and the way it's almost like they were like up here when it came to Donald Trump, right? Ivanka and Jared were like up here. And now they look like total strangers to the whole family unity. Like, what is going on? What are we missing, you guys? So let me see if I can read to you guys this article that I was just reading, because I know other people are noticing too. The signs of the anointed one, Ivanka Trump, has fallen from first lady status, and it shows according to some body language experts, okay? A body language expert has weighed on Ivanka Trump and husband Jared Kushner's stoic instances at Mar-a-Lago last night when he came out, the new president said that they won. He's saying that Ivanka is dressed in a blue suit, which is also weird because I'm like, why is she wearing blue? That's what I thought. I'm like, this person is it's almost like she's so against everything, as what I think, like what it looks like to me. It's like she's so against everything, like she's not basically allowed to say anything, but she's gonna use herself to kind of demonstrate or give signals. That's what I'm thinking. As bizarre as that sound, I'm like, your dad just became the president. You're gonna wear other people's campaign colors, I guess you can say. Like, talk about saying I want nothing to do with this without saying I want nothing to do with this. Like, that is just so strange to me. Like, if you're gonna do all of that, why even show up, right? Like, it's better to say, like, post on Instagram, be like, I wish my dad the best in this new term or something, but show up and then show your back, because body language never lies, no matter how much you try to hide it. At some point, what goes on inside your head is gonna display in your body, no matter what. Somehow, and it's almost like you do it without even thinking. It's almost like you tell on yourself, right? And you're like, oh wow, why did I pick the blue suit type of thing? But I think in this case, it was probably all strategic. I think the way she's stepping behind a lot, it's like there's some type of fallout that happened here. I mean, he's not even calling her. I mean, I remember this man calling Ivanka, like, speaking about her so proudly, and about Jared so proudly. And now, like I said, it's like they look like they're strangers. Like, are they on the list to be here? And not because of anything that Donald Trump is saying. It's the way they are behaving, the two of them. Like, wow, what is happening here, right? It says here, but although she was present for the win, according to the body language expert, things were vastly different last night than when he accepted his first win in 2016. There is something going on with this, guys. There is something going on with Ivanka and Jared. It is so clear. It is so clear. It's so loud you cannot miss it. It's so on your face. Even her posting a photo about, I think she just turned 43 or something. She's talking about life and all of that. Like, for her to, I mean, that is your dad and like, you see your brother and sister and everybody's so involved in this whole thing that your dad is the new president, and you are acting as though you're like, I'm showing up just to show my face, but I'm not really part of it, compared to what she did in 2016. This is what makes it so like, what? Because if you're telling me that this is Baron Trump, like, he's always been kind of like to the side in the sense of, he's present, he's very present, but he doesn't really speak or do presentations and nothing like that. Ivanka Trump was all over this whole thing when it happened the first time, and throughout the years of campaigning, all of that. And now it's like you go from being like 100% for your dad to being like, I'm just so awkwardly standing on the stage. I keep looking here at some of the photos. I would suggest, if you're listening to this on the podcast, search the photos and look at Ivanka and Jared during the acceptance speech, I guess, for the win of Donald Trump, right, at Mar-a-Lago. And this lady is also wearing full-on blue outfits. So it says here, like, let me tell you guys some of the comments, because I'm just going for what I'm seeing. It's like it is so made up. Their body language is telling on them so bad. It's like I don't see, it's so weird, because I don't see Donald Trump saying to, I mean, this man is family oriented. He's all about putting the family. It's not like in all of his business, right? He always bring all his kids, all his family, everybody, is present. Everybody has something to do. Ivanka is like, she's on the side, very awkwardly, in the sense that for her to be so outspoken before, now she's like acting like a stranger in her father's house. Like, it's so weird. Okay. It says here, somebody posted a comment, says, Ivanka and Jared made it clear that they were stepping away from politics. Neither of them campaigned for Donald Trump. But even so, they decided, let's check, maybe I missed that, maybe they decided that they're gonna step away from politics, whatever. They look like they're strangers at somebody's house. Okay, they look like they're happy to be there, but not really happy to be there. She doesn't want it. After January 6th, it says here, she put a great deal of distance between herself and her father, and that distance was prevalent during the campaign and on the stage last night. And then somebody else said, I noticed that Melania, Barron, and the president-elect father-in-law stood next to Trump when he spoke. Ivanka and Jared, who were not actively involved in the campaign, positioned themselves in with Vance and his wife. And then he says here, she publicly announced she was stepping back from political life to devote herself to full-time family. And it's no surprise she has not fallen. She's just giving the prominent position. No, I can understand. She has like what, 3 kids and younger kids too. I can understand her saying, we're stepping away. But once again, that was her decision. And why Jared was like, I remember Donald Trump just talking so much about Jared, like I said, and on and off about Jared and this and Ivanka and Jared. And I can understand you don't want any politics, nothing like that, but why are so not wanting to be there? It's almost like there's something that she knows. There's some type of plan that she knows that she just doesn't even want people to remember her connected to them or something. It's like, that's so weird to me. Somebody said that Ivanka spent the 4 years in the trenches with her father. She paid her dues and then some, and she saw the effect it had on her family. Somebody posted too, I'm happy that Ivanka and her husband are not center stage. I hope this means she's not going to have an active role in the administration. It says here, after 2020 was Eric and Don Jr. in the trenches fighting side by side with their father, defending him every step of the way. Where was she? Nowhere to be seen. But you know who also was nowhere to be seen, really, if we're gonna be honest? Melania Trump. She was very low-key also. It's almost like I saw an interview that she did maybe 3 weeks ago. I'm like, oh, there she is. Suddenly just appearing, showing her face again. Because this man also went to, he indicted or something. I can't remember now exactly, but I know he went to court and all of that. And maybe all of that happened. I just, here's the thing. The strangest thing to see Ivanka being kind of to the side and feeling almost like she's a stranger to this whole thing. It's just that to be such a tight family like they are, and to see how involved she was before, it looks very strange looking at her as an outsider. It looks very strange. It's almost like, are they gonna completely go against him or something? Is there something going on with them? Are they planning something? That's what it feels like. For them to not even, they're gonna show their face to Mar-a-Lago, and probably gonna show their face when the inauguration comes, right? But there's almost there's something else behind the scenes, and she's a family member, right? So she knows a lot and she saw a lot, and who knows, right? But these are just my observation, what some of the people were saying here on the internet. If you guys noticed this, let me know what you think. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much for listening in the podcast. Have a good day, everyone. God bless. Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe and share. And if you want to know more about me, you can visit my website, Julissadesigns.com. Have a good day everybody. God bless.